This audio essay will talk about how cows were first brought to America. It was recorded on an iMovie, and my name is Eric Brown. Since the beginning of America, there's always been a need for livestock, specifically cows. Cows are a great resource that people have been utilizing for thousands and thousands of years. Originally, cows are not native to North America. They were imported by various countries.
There are well over 200 kinds of cattle, and they're all unique. I agree, Squeaks. Some cattle are pretty cute. But even though they're cute, cattle aren't really pets. They're farm animals, which means that a lot of the time, people keep them so that the cattle will make them food. People have been living and taking care of cattle like this for a very long time. You see, long ago, people lived near a relative of today's cattle, an animal called an oryx. People knew that oryx could make milk that was good to drink and meat that was good to eat. But the young oryx could get attacked by
Cows are great for an abundance of reasons. First, cows are an excellent source of meat. A lot of meat can be harvested from a single cow, which can feed a family for months at a time. Cows also provide clothing for families through their fur once they are slaughtered. In addition to the natural goods they provide for colonists and such in the beginning, they're also a good tool to use on a farm. On the farms, cows can be used as a plow due to their immense strengths. Cows are one of the strongest creatures that walk this earth, so colonists knew they could utilize this strength and to help them with everyday activities. Now, how did cows get to America? Cows were brought over to America by early settlers, specifically the Spanish, the French, the Dutch, and the English. According to the introduction of cattle into colonial North America by G.A. Bowling, who works for the Department of Dairy Husbandry at the West Virginia University of Morgantown. She states that during the period of discovery and colonization, there were four possible paths of introduction of cattle into what is now the United States of America. First, to the West Indies, to any portion of the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico coastline. Second, from Mexico into the southwestern areas in California. Third, from the French colonies of St. Lawrence Valley into the area of the Old Northwest. Then introduced to America by the French, specifically the sailor Cartier, when he sailed on his second voyage to the New World in 1541. On this voyage, Cartier mainly had livestock in the form of cattle, goats, hogs, sheep. These livestock had one purpose for the French, and that was to be bred. Next, we have the Dutch. The Dutch arrived in the Americas around 1625 with the first cows. And on the whole voyage over, only two cows died on the passage. This gave the Dutch great hope into seeing that cows could be the future for Americas, for their colonies. So they immediately grabbed more cows and sent them over to America. So finally, we have the English, who were a little slower on the get up to America. But they established their first colony in 1607, which was Jamestown. But it wasn't until almost 4 years later that cows were introduced to Jamestown. Originally, they brought over sheep, horse, swine, but they realized that they needed cows to help them survive. The first cows reached Jamestown on May 10th of 1611. Now, even though all these cows were originally from the other side of the world, over time, these cows adapted to live in North America. According to the article by Emily Jane McTavish, New World Cattle Show, Ancestry for Multiple Independent Domestication Events, she states that the American cows were more high-fed and drought stress tolerance in comparison with the European deprived cattle breeds. Basically, this means that the American cows adapted to live in the cooler climate of America, which led them to be fatter cows and provide more goods for the colonists.